Okay, so here's a hopefully quick overview of what we can do with GarageBand to make original music. First things first, when you open GarageBand, you go to the top right corner and hit plus for a new project. If you swipe right or left, no, not like Tinder, you find different instruments. First, stay away from this one, the drummer one, because that doesn't really involve you having to do a lot. I would stick with like keyboard, drums, strings, bass, and guitar. You do not have to use them all, but I would say use at least 3 different instruments. I'm going to start with the drums because they can be the scariest to use. So if you use the smart drums, which is the bottom left corner of that screen, it's really easy to use this. So first thing, if in the top left corner where it says hip hop drum machine, if I click on that, I'm able to change it to different drum sets just by touching like that. I personally like the hip hop sound, so I'm going to stick with it. And then on your right, you see the different instruments you get. I'm going to grab the kick. On the left of this grid is simple patterns. On the right of this grid is hard. If you go to the bottom, it's quiet. Whereas at the top, it's loud. So it's columnized in terms of patterns. So there are only, that's 8 patterns. So maybe I want something like here. No, I don't like that one. I'm going to go there. I personally like the claps. Cool. So I like this pattern. If you don't like it, you just drag it off. But if you're struggling to figure out a pattern that you like, there's also in the bottom left, you'll see a dice. If I click on the dice, it's going to preload a beat for me. And if I hit it again, and then reset brings it all back. So I think I was about, yep, that's what I liked. Okay, so I'm going to hit power again to turn that off. And then to record with the drum pattern, you just hit the power button to turn it on, and then the record button, and let it go for a bit. Cool, and then it's there. So now that I've got that pattern in, so then at the top, above the drum machine, above the number 1, there's 4 buttons there. You want to pick that third one, not the piece of paper, not the big square and 2 little squares, but the one next to that. And that brings you here to see where all of your instruments are. If you don't like the recording you made, if you click on it, a menu comes up so that you can either delete or split or whatever. There's options there, but at the bottom left corner here is where we add the next instrument. So I'm going to go ahead over to strings, and I'm going to again hit smart strings. So this is nice because it gives me some different sounds just by clicking on different letters. You can do specific notes. However, that's going to be quite a bit harder. So if you go into chords, there's an autoplay in the top right corner as well. So if I touch the number 1, or just like click and go, touch numbers to change it. I'm going to go to 1. I'm going to hit C to show you what that's like. And then if I go to 2, it's a different pattern. Also, if I go to the top left, hit cinematic, I can do something a little bit. Let's go with modern. Which sounds pretty cool. So I'm going to turn that off. I'm also, if I go into settings, I'm going to do a fancy music teacher thing right now. I'm going to go with, I'm going to go with that to make life easier. Boom. That's what I want to do. You don't have to change the key. So then to record, if you hit record, it will not go over the beat that we already made, but it's going to record in tandem with it. So here we go. And now those two together And just so that you are aware, I'm going to go and add instruments. So the strings, that smart strings feature, the same thing applies on the bass. If I wanted to add a bass, I'm not going to record it, but I'm just going to show you. I'm going to go with, let's go with a picked bass. It's easier to hear. Chord. No, I want chords. Go with the autoplay. So that's the same procedure as with the strings that I just showed you. If I click on the instrument, I can actually get rid of it too. And then the guitar, again, same thing. And also the keyboard does the same thing with the smart piano. That's why I wanted us to use Garageband. The piano actually gives you a little bit more leeway too, so like this button gives me the whole chord, but if I just do this, it's just the high notes, and if I do the bottom, it's just the low notes. If you know anything about piano, this part is your right hand, that part is your left hand, and you can mix and match in the piano. So hopefully that was a helpful, quick tutorial for you. If you have any questions about GarageBand, let me know. Oh, I should show you about saving and exporting. Also, wait, do we have loops? We do have loops. Don't use loops. If you hit the paper in the top left corner, it saves. And then if you click and hold, that's where the share button goes in. You're going to want to share it as a song, highest quality, which is iTunes, and then I hit share. And I would suggest sending it to Drive, and then from Drive you'll be able to export it to open it up in iMovie, but start with putting it into Drive, picking your account, and like you know how to do all this. You have to pick a specific folder for it to go into. I'm not going to do that right now, but that's how you do that whole process. Let me know if you have any questions. Hopefully this makes you feel a little bit happier about using GarageBand and not so freaked out about it. Cool. See you all later, because I'm recording this at like 10:25 in the morning, and we have 10:24, and we have a meeting at 1 o'clock, so I'll see you then.